Hello everyone. I just wanted to come on and make a quick video about my new garden stand. And I'm so happy about it. I really am. I'm really grateful. I'm here in Montana and I I went to the maker space where they had the tools. My other garden, it lasted for a handful of months and it just kept collapsing. I did not have the proper tools. I put it together just the way that, you know, well, I did the best I could do at the time. And if you look at my previous video, you'll see it, but it just kept collapsing. So I initially put it together with hot glue to hold up the little shelves that I got from Dollar Tree that were really like signs. And that collapsed, so then I used wood glue to put it together to keep the shelves from falling, and that worked for a little while and then collapsed. Then I put masking tape, and that didn't really work. So I didn't really grow anything for a little while because it was just kept collapsing and falling over. And so I tried to go online to like Facebook Marketplace to find someone who would build something like this, but I think the project was just too small and people were just like not interested. And so let's see, will this work better? Yeah, let's turn it back this way. And so I found a maker space and I'm like, oh, look, I'm just passing through traveling and I have this small project that I can make myself in a day. And I thought I knew what I was doing. And apparently when I got there, the guy, he wrote me back, he's like, well, we don't have day passes, but just come and bring your project so we see what you're working on. So this space, they have like everything. Like you can go in there, bring your stuff. They have the tools. You can do sewing projects. They have like embroidery. You can do, wood projects. There were some people there that brought their wood to mill. There was other people that were working on like electronic stuff. But I just had this project and I thought I knew what I was doing because I was just going to kind of put the slats on. I went to Home Depot. They cut the wood down for me. And when I got there, the guy's like, well, I think you should do a ladder side. And I had no idea what he was talking about. And this is what he was talking about, were these things right here. And he drew it out on a picture. And I'm like, oh, okay. But in my mind, I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And when he started helping me and he was doing all this stuff, I'm like, I just planned on gluing the sides and cutting the wood down because I had used, I built the deck on top of my van and my brother-in-law gave me a crash course on how to use each tool beforehand. And so I didn't like have that, and I only had like a couple of hours. Like it was open build day or something at the makerspace. And he started cutting stuff and gluing stuff, and I'm like, this is way beyond my skill level. And looking back, it was just kind of funny because I honestly would have been so up a creek if he wasn't there. And I just got really lucky that I happened to be in a place where I called or I wrote, and they had this open build day. And the person who wrote me was the person I met at the place that day, and he just happened to know, he just happened to have some woodworking skills. Other than that, like this shelf would not look this nice. I would have been happy with it still because I would have just been able to put my garden up, but it would not have been this fancy. It would not have been built this nicely, and I'm just so grateful for it. So I got my little crop growing. I got some basic salad mix, and I think these are broccoli microgreens. I usually sprout the broccoli, but I'm trying to do microgreens just because it's a little easier, it's a little cleaner, it takes up a little less space because I don't have to use a mason jar and then that tips over sometimes when driving. And I've got some red acre cabbage. That's some more broccoli. I've got some in here, Oh, more broccoli. As you know, I'm obsessed with broccoli sprouts. Here's some sunflower microgreens that are in blackout. I just put this wheatgrass on to soak. I usually grow really big trays of wheatgrass, like 10 by 20s, but you can't do that in a van. And down here, some cilantro that I'm hoping and praying is going to actually sprout this time. This is my second time trying to grow cilantro, and it didn't work out previously, and I was like, okay, am I going to give up? Okay, why isn't that focusing? I also have some Swiss chard in there, and in my kitchen crop, these are some black-eyed peas that I'm sprouting. I sprouted, they're ready to be cooked. And the kitchen crop, I know you all have seen this before. Hang on. I had to cover it because, okay, you can see it there. So the kitchen crop has, of course, the daikon radish, some alfalfa, and red clover. And this is what it's looking like so far. And I'm so happy. I put the lights up again. I put the lights back up. They just fit so much better on here. And for a stopper, I was like, what am I going to use for a stopper this time? Because I don't have, like, the last garden had, I covered it with like the little wallpaper type things that I got from Dollar Tree. So I went to the store and looked for some wooden dowels that were, this is 10 3/4 inches wide, this garden, by 10 3/4 inches deep. And I'm like, okay, I could not find the correct size dowels. And I was like, okay, I can go to Home Depot and they have that little saw where you can cut them down, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. What else can I use? And so I use hot glue. So I got out the hot glue and I just put a little dab there and in both of the back on each shelf. And so if I stop hard, it shouldn't come flying off the shelf. And I put that on each row. I didn't have to put it on the sides because they're not going to come flying off the sides because of the little ladders. But I'm just so grateful. Like, the guy built this whole thing like himself. I think like I kind of stood around and watched, and like I sawed a piece of wood and I helped sand it a little, but he did most of the things. And I was wondering if he was thinking like, if I don't do this, we're never going to get done. Or maybe he was just excited about it and like he knew I didn't know what I was doing, even though I thought I knew what I was doing until I got there. But anyway, I'm so, so, so thankful for him, and I'm so thankful that I have my garden back up, and I'm just in love. So let me know what you think, and if you have been inspired to start your own garden inside of a minivan. See, I really am in a car. I'm in a vehicle. See, I'm in a Walmart parking lot. There's my other stuff. See, there's the front of the vehicle. All right, let me know what you think.